Sit down, Fabio.
It's no talk.
Late. Get ready. I love you. Vámonos.
In Bogota, 1992, a young cartel man named Fabio Restrepo sits across from his godfather, the drug lord Don Luis Sandoval, and tells him he wants out of the business. Don Luis embraces him with the warmth of family, wishes him well, and the moment Fabio walks out the door, he turns to his enforcer Marco and orders his death. But Fabio has spent his whole life inside this world, and he already knows what the embrace meant. He drives home to his wife Alicia and his 9-year-old daughter Cataleya with only minutes to spare, pulls a microchip out of a photo frame and presses it into the girl's small hand. He calls it her passport, writes down an address she must show at a certain gate in Miami, and slips his orchid pendant around her neck, telling her he named her after the flower his own mother once grew.
That's why I named you. Never forget where you came from. Que Dios te bendiga.
Before he can finish, Don Luis's men are already at the gate.
Want to sit down, Fabio.
It's no talk.
Ven, vámonos.
He said he's not home yet.
Fabio tells Alicia to ready the weapons, kisses his daughter one last time, and whispers that he loves her. Cataleya watches from the top of the stairs as her parents rush down to defend the home, and she watches them fall. Marco steps over her father's body and speaks calmly to the corpse. No one, he says, walks away from Don Luis.
You should know that you don't leave Don Luis, you only die.
Another man raises a gun to the girl's head, but Marco waves him off. He crouches beside her, softens his voice, tells her that her father was not who she thought he was, and asks her about the flash drive. Cataleya, 9 years old and already something new, drives a knife through his hand and answers him with the only sentence she has left in her body. I want to kill Don Luis. In the years to come, this will be the first of many mercies Marco will regret. She dives through the window, swallows the microchip, and runs. The cartel's men flood the streets of Bogota behind her, but she slips through them like water over rooftops, down alleys, through a manhole, into the sewers. When she climbs out, she walks straight to the American embassy and hands the chip to a stunned officer. He asks her if she has any idea what she has just given him, and the girl, still tasting blood and river water, tells him it is my passport. Within hours, she is on a private plane bound for Miami, and within a day, she slips her handler in a bathroom and boards a bus to Chicago, following her father's address to a stranger she has never met.
There's a girl looking for you. Her name is Cataleya.
That stranger is her uncle Emilio, and when he sees the small girl standing in his doorway, he holds her like she is the last thing he has left in the world. The next morning, she meets her grandmother, learns that the bedroom she slept in belonged to a cousin who was killed, and looks Emilio in the eye and tells him she wants to become a killer.
I want to be a killer.
Emilio, gangster that he is, does not argue. He enrolls her in school first. When she protests, he pulls a pistol in broad daylight and fires at a passing car, letting her watch the panic bloom on the sidewalk as sirens close in. He tells her that a killer without a mind is a dead girl in 5 years, and he places a gun in one of her hands and a school bag in the other. Cataleya takes the school bag.
Better.
15 years pass in the space of a breath. Cataleya is a grown woman now, and one night she rams a stolen car into a Chicago police cruiser, tumbles out reeking of alcohol, and lets herself be dragged into a holding cell. What the officers do not know is that a high-value criminal named Genaro Rizzo has just been brought into the same station, and Cataleya has arranged every second of her own arrest around him. In the small hours, she picks the lock with a hairpin, crawls through a ventilation shaft she has already mapped, stops the fan with a spoon and a length of wire.
Go check the ventilation system, will you?
drops onto the guard outside Rizzo's cell, and puts a bullet in the target she came for.
Unbutton your shirt.
What?
Now.
Before she vanishes back into her own cell, she draws an orchid on his chest, a Cataleya, her namesake, her signature.
It's clear here.
By morning, she is walking out the front door of the police station with a court date and a hangover charge, and the dead man behind her is already a headline waiting to happen.
Todo bien?
We're good.
I have something for you.
Give me a day.
We can't wait to see you.
That headline draws FBI Special Agent James Ross, who has been tracking the orchid signature across more than 20 bodies. He arrives in Chicago, studies the flower, orders the visitor logs, and tells his officers to push the killings onto the front pages. The message, he tells them, is not for them. It is for someone else.
The message isn't meant for us.
In Miami, that someone else is finally paying attention. A CIA man named Richard walks into Don Luis's compound and drops the newspapers on his table. Don Luis calls the killings a coincidence. Richard reminds him that the agency lets him operate on American soil only because he is useful, and useful means transparent, and then he leaves. Don Luis turns on Marco with cold fury. "I told you everyone dead, like I ordered 15 years ago." Then he tells him to fix it.
You screwed up the first time. Now, go fix it.
Meanwhile, Cataleya lives two lives. In one, she is a ghost inside a fortified apartment full of monitors and dogs and passports with different names. In the other, she is a woman named Jennifer who slips into her boyfriend Danny Delaney's bed and refuses to tell him anything true about herself. Danny paints, Danny travels to galleries, Danny keeps asking her when they will finally go on a real date, and Cataleya kisses him quiet every time. When he presses her over a candlelit dinner to tell him something, anything, she lets one small piece of the truth escape her mouth. "I feel lonely sometimes." It is the closest thing to her real name she has ever given him.
I feel lonely sometimes.
Me too. Let me this time.
But Emilio has begun to see the cost of what he raised. When Cataleya meets him at the dry cleaner for her next target, he throws the newspaper at her feet and tells her that the trail of orchids is not smoking Don Luis out. It is only bringing him closer to their door. She reminds him she chose this. "You didn't let me do anything. I chose this." Emilio's voice breaks. "When I lose my son, I lose my life." He hands her a photograph of her grandmother, tells her not to contact either of them again, and walks away. Her next mark is a millionaire named William Woodgard, who parties on a Caribbean estate ringed by shark pools and armed men.
They're ignoring me. Really?
Oh, yeah, but
Cool.
She comes up through the sharks. She stands over him with a gun as he sleeps, changes her mind, draws the flower on his chest instead. When he wakes and finds every one of his guards dead, he fires at her and only then realizes she has already emptied every weapon in the house. She shoots him in the leg, cracks the glass beneath his feet, and lets his own sharks finish what she started. Back in Chicago, the walls begin closing in. Ross has scanned the police station's visitor logs against every hospital admission and concluded that the orchid killer cannot be a woman because no woman's name matches. It is the oldest mistake in the book, assuming the shape of a monster. Danny takes a photograph of Cataleya sleeping in his bed one morning.
Where are you going?
I shouldn't have done this.
What are you talking about? Why? A second, can we just talk about this?
No. Talk too much.
Jennifer!
Shows it to a friend, and the friend passes it to a sister-in-law with access to a federal facial database. The image lands on Ross's screen. Within the hour, her face is on every station wall in the city.
3rd precinct. Get somebody down there now.
have a girl.
Cataleya calls Danny from an unknown line just to hear his voice, and he confesses, half in love, half an apology. I took a picture of you while you were sleeping. She looks up at her monitors and sees the SWAT vans pulling into her building's driveway. She turns on the gas in her apartment, unlocks the cage of her bird, grabs a rifle, and moves. She blows out a wall with a sniper round, rappels down an elevator shaft on strip cable, blinds the parking garage cameras, and vanishes into the subway.
She's here! Look everywhere! She's here! Find her! Anything? Come on.
When she reaches her uncle's house, the front door is already open. Her grandmother is dead. Emilio is dead. Marco has come and gone. She kneels in the ruin of the only family she had left and weeps for the second time in her life. There are wounds that reset the clock. This one sends her back to Bogota. Agent Ross opens his front door that night to find Cataleya waiting for him with a gun. She tells him the whole of it, the massacre in Bogota, the man in Miami, the government that has been protecting the monster who made her. She tells him she needs Don Luis's address, and she tells him she knows exactly where his family sleeps. When Ross tries the CIA the next morning and Richard refuses, Cataleya puts a sniper's crosshair on Richard's chest from a distant rooftop and fires a warning shot into the wall beside him. Richard gives up an address in New Orleans before the plaster is finished falling. She loads a fire truck with weapons and her attack dogs and drives south. She takes the floor plan of Don Luis's estate at gunpoint. When his men gather inside to strategize, she puts a rocket through the wall of the mansion. She crashes their getaway vehicle with the truck and cuts through the survivors in the street.
Hurry up! You hide here and wait for my call.
She moves through the house room by room, through basements and balconies, until Marco is the only man left standing between her and the boss. Marco is good. He has been good for a very long time. But she drives the inner frame of a broken pistol through his throat, and then she is alone in the house with her father's killer. Don Luis runs. His van roars out of the estate gates and slams to a halt in front of a garbage truck she has parked across the road. Her phone rings on Marco's body, and when Don Luis answers, she tells him to look in the back seat. His own trained dogs are watching him from the darkness. He tries to threaten her. He tells her he cannot be killed. She says a single word into the phone: eat. And the man who ordered her family's deaths dies inside his own car. Days later, Agent Ross sits across from Danny in an interrogation room and takes down every last thing Danny knows about the woman he loved. When Ross steps out for a cup of coffee, the phone in the room rings. Danny picks up and Cataleya's voice is on the other end. She tells him he has 40 seconds and 3 questions. He asks her real name, Cataleya, like the flower. He asks if his little bird is ever coming back. And then, instead of a third question, he tells her he loves her. Ross bursts in, tries to take the line, and hears only the click of her hanging up.
You can go.
She walks away from the payphone, boards a bus with nothing but a small bag and a new name, and lets the city fall away behind her. Some children survive what should have killed them, and a few of those children spend the rest of their lives learning what it costs to keep breathing when everyone who loved you is buried in a country you can never go home to.